Ooh, a government official is telling me that I can buy Petros with Bolivars. We'll tell you guys what that means in today's episode. Today's gonna be an update on what's happening on the cryptocurrency news front. We got this whole Venezuela cryptocurrency thing here. It's really going to launch. We're gonna look at exactly what it is, what it means, and what they should be actually doing in Venezuela. We also have some accusations of fake volumes and such. It came out on Wall Street Journal. We're gonna talk about that in relation to what's happening in this whole cryptocurrency ecosystem. Can we really trust the volumes that we see? Finally, we see some federal courts. They're saying, you know what? Virtual currencies are commodities. Yeah, they're not really currencies. So everything and more in today's box is Mining Daily. I'm gonna put this episode a little bit shorter than usual because I have T minus 1 hour before I need to go to the airport for Kiev to this conference. Kiev is Ukraine. It's a place I've never been to before, and we're going to the cybersecurity conference Hackett, organized by Hacken. I'm actually really excited for this because it's finally a conference that's not ICO based and talking about something that's really important: how to keep our crypto safe. So I'll talk about what's being covered there in the end as well. So make sure you stay to the end of this episode. And of course, with all episodes, everything covered here is my personal opinion, not financial advice. So let's take a quick glance at the current markets right now. We're back up to around $219 billion for the overall market cap. So we're recovering slightly. We're just really sideways trading every day. Now on to the biggest news today. So the president of Venezuela came and said, you know what, we're announcing a new cryptocurrency, a national cryptocurrency. So this is one that an ICO that's done by a whole country. And to explain why they're doing this, you must really look at the backdrop of Venezuela. So what happened before this was that Venezuela is under this huge inflation crisis. And to just put that into perspective, this is a picture of them just using their money, using their fiat cash as literal trash, just folding and making paper bags and stuff out of it. Just imagine this: if you lived in a country and you worked all your life until you're 60 years old, you have a savings in the bank account, you're planning to maybe buy a nice car or a nice house to retire, and then suddenly all that's gone. All you can do with that money that you saved up is probably buy a loaf of bread. How is that even possible? And that's because the government's just been printing money. Centralized authorities, central governments can print fiat to their discretion. And it's back, well, kind of due to the government. And what they're trying to do now is to use crypto to solve that. So they're trying to get around these international sanctions imposed on Venezuela. And they're trying to say, you know what, people can invest and buy this new cryptocurrency, this Petro with Ethereum, with your Bitcoins, or with your US dollars and euros. Give us your money. Anyone outside who's dumb enough to fall for the scam. And you know what? They're like, to add more to it, we're gonna back this Petro with our oil, because we got oil here in Venezuela. The only problem with such a structure is that the oil that's backing it, the amount that they store, that's a central authority controlling it. So if you have a central authority, can you really trust an authority that let their currency inflate, the national currency inflate 1,000,000%? They don't really have much credibility here. There's no trust. And especially if they're backing something that's a physical commodity, no thanks. But the good news for all this is that this exposes their population to cryptocurrencies. The good news is, and this is, you can buy Petros with sovereign bolivars, so they can use their national currency to buy these Petros, and guess what? Then they can change that to cryptocurrencies of actual value. Maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, VeChain, name it. Anything that's accepted internationally, anything that has value and has liquidity. And what's cool about that is that exposes a whole population to crypto. So thank you so much, Venezuela. Your coin is useless, but you got everyone into crypto. Thank you. Now this piece of news came on Wall Street. So Wall Street's been attacking crypto for a while now. But I read this article and there is a grain of kind of truth to what they're saying, which is the fact, and I've alerted to this in the past as well, where our volumes. Can we really trust the volumes that are going on, that are being reported by exchanges? We've seen in the past ridiculous volumes reported by something like Fcoin. We talked about extensively how they pretty much have a policy that promotes wash trading. Because these exchanges are centralized, they don't have to report their actual user numbers. There's no auditing, so to speak, to report user numbers, to report actual transaction amounts. And we even see this report by the Hacken team as well. This is one reported by CR Crypto Exchange Research. They did some detective work on various exchanges, and they tried to figure out the actual number of unique monthly users. This is a very important number because that tells you how many people are actually using the exchange. And the reason why we don't believe the exchange numbers for this is because these numbers can be fabricated. An exchange, because they're centralized and you can't audit it, they can say, yeah, we have like 20 billion people using it. The whole world's using the exchange. So you can see like exchanges like Bitforex, they're reporting $12,000 of volume transacted per user, while Binance, we have 861. So it's kind of very interesting to see these volumes per users coming through. And this is the kind of detective work we need in this space to kind of figure out what's really going on. Last bit of news for everyone living in the US. So this is a new document issued today by the CFTC. And what they're saying is that they're finding and classifying virtual currencies as commodities. This is really huge because in terms of regulation and compliance, this is still important because if you're living in the US, you have to obey the law. But the law has a problem classifying what the hell are cryptocurrencies, right? They can fit under, SEC wants to say, yeah, they can be possibly securities. At least some of these ICO coins are. And then the CFTC is like, yeah, those are actually currencies. No, we have authority here. Here, the federal court is saying virtual currencies are commodities because they want the CFTC to go after MyBitcoin. Apparently, this is a scam that falsely advertised themselves to say that they are traded internationally to investors and they have gold backing them. This sounds a little bit familiar with what's going on over here. Yeah, so there are cases where people are gullible enough to believe that something might be backing a coin and they might fall for it. So right here, the court ruling right now finds the virtual currencies are classified as commodities. So what we need to do right now is we need a little bit more further clarification. We need them to say, you know, what exact coins are commodities, what exact coins are securities, because SEC has also been, you know, sending out a few letters asking people, you know, what's exactly happening with your company? You might be classified as a security, be careful. So we need some more clarification here as well. And guys, I'm going to Kiev today. I'm really excited for that. You know, this is such an amazing opportunity to see two things. One is what's happening globally with crypto. The Ukrainian population, they're huge. There's a huge community of crypto developers and projects there, including Hacken, of course, who has organized the event, and also security as well. This is a topic that I really want to get to the root of. How do we really protect our cryptocurrencies? This knowledge is invaluable. It's core, because otherwise you can get your wallet hacked and lose all your crypto and lose all the progress you made here. So I think it's really important to have a update and to speak to actual white hat hackers about how to protect wallets or even our email account. I'm gonna post all the updates and my adventures on Instagram and on Twitter. So if you guys haven't subscribed, do check it out. Instagram, great way to catch up. And I'm there. I'm gonna try to have my whole adventure there, and also Twitter as well. So make sure you follow me there, and I really want to keep in touch with you guys during this adventure. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and see you on Instagram.